I'm John Carrington, and today we have a very special show for you. My good friend Spencer Horseman is one of our local celebrities. Good old Spencer. I tell you, he was on that show, America's Got Talent, and Spencer was on for week after week after week, and boy, he could have won it just for, well, I'm not going to tell you why he didn't win it, but he was up there with the top 3 contestants in that whole America's Got Talent episode. So, I'm going to share with you some of the experiences we've had here in Baltimore with the Magic Box with my good friend Spencer Horseman. Hey, take a look at this.
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
We're going to load you down stage left.
I started out with magic when I was about 5 or 6, doing a lot of, small little tricks that everybody starts out with, mostly close up, and then just the ventriloquism right into, and headed on from there.
Now I want you to imagine that you're 13 years old and your dad is a magician and he owns a magic shop. What would you want to be when you grow up? That's right, a ventriloquist. Folks, say hello to Spencer Horseman.
Thank you, Lance. Snap out of it. What are you staring at? You! There's something about you that looks familiar. We've been together for years. Of course I look familiar. No, it's something else. You remind me of someone in the movies. Well, if the lighting is right, people say I look like Brad Pitt. All right, Dexter. I get your point. What lighting? Dark? Now, Dexter, if you're good, after the show, I'll give you a nice shiny nickel. Nah, I'll take a dirty old quarter instead. What is this? My new illusion. Wow! This is my magical, mystical music box. Sounds complicated. Try something without moving your lips. Okay, how does this work? Just turn the crank and listen to the unique sound. Okay? It seems to be stuck. But that's impossible. Let's investigate. Let's take a look inside. Let's see, what do we have here? Hey, what's this? Dexter, can you really fix this thing? Sure. Let me try again. Help me inside. I sure hope you know what you're doing. Yeah. Sorry. And a foot stuck. I'll get it. Be careful. Yeah. Hey, look, a door. Dexter, where are you going? Help! Let me out! Get me out of here! Help! I'll help you. The crank! My claw! The box! Well, Dexter, I knew this guy could be a dead ringer. So long, folks.
Wow, that's the typical stuff that Spencer Horseman does, and that's what got him on America's Got Talent. And he took that to the next level when it came to doing magical illusions and escapes. And Kenzo, with the help of his father, Spencer Horseman, with the help of his father, Ken Horseman, did a magnificent job representing Baltimore and putting us on the map when it came to America's Got Talent. Yeah. All right, well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with more. So don't go anywhere.
I get up on a little mini stage, I do a straight jacket escape and some other various items.
All right, see what I mean? He's really exciting, man. In fact, you recently did something that I call the straight jacket event. We have a clip of that. Let's take a look and see what we got here.
Two straight jackets.
Let's take a look.
He's a wonderful, wonderful fella. In fact, he's a ballroom dancer. He's a ventriloquist. He's just an all-around good guy. In fact, I had a chance to talk to him up close and personal. And I'm going to let you in on the personality of Spencer Horseman. Take a look at this.
It's okay.
That's a big gift. A big gift comes Mother's Day, right?
Maybe. Anyhow, both my parents, they started getting me, well, they opened up a magic shop when I was born, basically, the magic shop that we're sitting in now, the upstairs. And they started getting the magic when I was 4 years old, just tinkering with some little tricks here and there, started working in the shop more, and just basically teaching myself, sitting around and reading instructions, different things like that, and teaching different effects of myself. I then started picking up ventriloquism, because Mother Maine kind of claimed to fame when I was 8 years old.
Wow.
I've been on Letterman, Springer before the fights, worked in Vegas numerous times, Hawaii. I just booked a 7-week tour in Tokyo, Japan, starting in July. So I do have a moderate bit of life, and keeps me very entertained, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Very busy.
What are your future goals? What do you want to do in the future?
Future, I'll definitely travel more parts of the world. I've been to Spain already. Tokyo's another great jump. That's been a huge dream of mine. And just travel anywhere and everywhere that I possibly can. That's part of the reason why I do this. Learn about the culture, just meeting new people all the time. Always something different.
All right, well, in a moment, I'm going to let some of the children ask you questions.
Unicycle? Unicycle with the one wheel?
Yeah.
With the one wheel?
On a roll.
A lot of practice. Something that my parents do, actually, riding a unicycle. It's a lot more difficult than a normal bike.
She used to ride a unicycle.
All right, very
Yeah.
good. Excellent question. I'm glad you revealed that,
Hidden
Victory.
talents, right?
Hidden talents, yes, yes.
All right, Julia has a question.
How old are you?
19.
Are you in college?
No, I'm actually taking a couple years off right now to really pursue my entertainment.
Is it like the 198? What is it?
You look 198, I think he's saying.
No, I mean.
Oh, do I look that old?
No, what? I mean.
Take your time.
What
Take your time.
number?
Number of which?
You mean, Julia, tell us.
I'm not a mind reader. I do card tricks.
So that's when you're still working on the mind reading part.
Yes, I'm not that good
We're
yet.
going to come back to Hercules' question. It has something to do with
Think about it,
198.
Think about it.
Gordon. Gordon,
I
what's-
need swing dance.
How do I swing dance?
Swing
Well, I'll
dance.
do a little bit of swing dancing here for you in a couple minutes. But there's a lot of basic, like any normal sort of dancing, you can start learning a couple steps and going from there and just practicing.
Spencer, is there anything you want to say, anything you want to put out there for the audience?
Give me a subject, man.
Are you
No, if I guess if there's any, these young children that wish to get into entertainment or learning a skill or becoming an actor, magician, any sort of entertainer, just really find your passion and really just keep at it and practice. That's the main thing. As long as you enjoy doing it, don't let anybody else tell you, oh, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that. If you enjoy doing it, makes you happy, that's all that matters. Just go ahead and do it.
Good
That's
advice.
right.
Excellent advice.
Don't be a dummy. Do your stuff.
Exactly.
It don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is swing.
Now with your back foot, your right foot. Now bring your left foot back. Okay, other left. Okay, there you go. And you're gonna go and rock your weight like this. Okay, you're gonna rock your weight. So what you're gonna do is go 1, 2, and this is called a rock step. 1, 2. It's kind of a quick step there. 1, 2. Okay, it's gonna be 1, 2,
Okay.
1, 2,
This,
and then come back 1, 2.
this.
Go away 1. Hold me there. 1. So 1. Okay. 2. Now bring the other foot back. You're gonna rock step. You're gonna shift your weight back and forth. There you go. Okay. Now with the girls, you're gonna do the opposite. Now with your foot, you're gonna do the opposite. Start with your right foot. This is the girls only. You do the same thing. 1, 2, and then rock step. Okay. So you can do the same. 1, 2, rock step. Okay. So I'll do the guys again. Okay, the guys. Other foot, other foot, other foot. There you go. 1, 2, rock step. Alright, 1, 2, rock step. Alright, good. So now, if you go and you just team up, if you go in place here. just like that.
Okay. Is it like this?
Do your part.
This.
Here, here.
Like this. This.
Spencer, hey, my local hero. Go, Baltimore, go. Yeah, he's a wonderful fella. And I think you're going to find out that that's the kind of representation we need in Baltimore City. People who are good role models, but also hard workers and really make a mark. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with some more. This is the Magic Box, and I'm John Carrington, and we want you to be back.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Hey, this is the Magic Box, and one of the things I love to do is to visit the Magic Shop. And Illusions, at one point, was a typical magic shop. And here's a tour. In fact, this is a bit of history. This is a tour of the original magic shop named Illusions. Take a look.
Well, I tell you what, when we come back from break, we're going to talk some more about the career of Ken Horstman, who is the owner of the Yogi Magic Shop, the Kenzo's Yogi Magic Shop. We'll be right back. About his career in Ringling Brothers. Ken, talk about those old days, the circus days.
I was very, very fortunate, actually. You had to fill an application out at that time, and the application was probably 36 inches by 36 inches. And it had hundreds of questions on this big piece of paper, like when's the last time you cried? What's your favorite music? What is your favorite foreign country to visit? They want to know what made you eat, breathe, circus. You're working around 100 different nationalities. And I was able to get selected. I went to the Armory in Washington, D.C. and auditioned. My mom, we took a train over to the Armory, and she said, Kenny, I'll help you any way I possibly can. And she basically said, okay, we bought 2 tickets, went to the Armory, auditioned there in the center ring for Ringling Brothers of Bone and Belly Circus. And I finished, and they gave me this big application, and they said, fill this out, send it back in. I was lucky. They received back in 1977 close to 6,000, 7,000 applications. They only select 55 students from around the country, okay? So I was very fortunate, and you're there in training for 10 weeks long, and it is so intense, 6 days a week, from 7 in the morning till like 12 midnight. They want to make sure, because to live and travel like we do in a circus, you live on a circus train, okay, a mile long, and you're living with 350 people, a couple hundred animals. They want to make sure you can handle this, okay? That means you want to make sure you have the energy level and the travel experiences and living in close quarters with all these people, working in these big arenas. I mean, it was an incredible experience, but I was so lucky. After the graduation, they have this big graduation, and they give you this little number, and they have your photo with a number on one page and a photo on the other. And all the directors and the owner of the circus at that time was Mr. Irvin Feld, okay? And he now, his son, he's passed away, but his son now owns the circus, Kenneth Feld. And he had these photos, and for 3 hours long, 55 clowns would do all these different, having this magic shop, because I get to sell magic to kids starting at 8, 10, 12 years old. And I've watched, since me being here 18 years, this location, some of these kids now are young men, and they come back and perform tricks for me who've excelled so much more than I have even, in close-up magic and card tricks. And Spencer's a fine example of that, my son.
Speaking of Spencer, let's take a clip. Let's take a look at Spencer.
But else in the meantime, I will go to college, or if I'm traveling, take some courses here and there. I'm a very inquisitive person, so I'm always constantly learning.
Well, at this point, I want to see some stuff. You know, you've got to throw down some magic, some ventriloquism. I want to see something, but we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll see more of Spencer Horseman here at Kenzo's Yogi Magic Shop. We'll be right back. Of Baltimore history. The old Yogi Magic Shop, the old Yogi Magic Club, it was all called Illusions, and we had a chance to see what it looked like years ago. Now it's what they call a magic bar. That you actually can go in and have a nice beverage with your friends and enjoy a magic show. But Spencer Horseman is the featured entertainer there, and he does escapes, he does magic, he does comedy. Spencer's just an all-around showman. Well, this is called The Magic Box, and I'm John Carrington, and I'm so happy that you joined me for this particular segment. And hey, remember, whenever you want to have some magic in your life, visit The Magic Box. I'm John Carrington. Hey, have a nice day.
No chains could hold him. No jail could imprison him.
Houdini created a Superman. There's nothing that can confine Houdini. There's no clever jailer, there is no policeman, there's no clever box builder that can create something that Houdini can't defeat.
Magician, aviator, actor, author, the most famous escape artist who ever lived, star of stage and screen.
I think it's hard to imagine how big a star Houdini was and what he contributed to even the notion of celebrity in America.
Admired by many, despised by some, defender of the lonely and bereaved, he exposed charlatans who claimed to communicate with the dead.
He fought the spiritualists, the fakers out there, because it was disrespectful for them to claim they were speaking with the dead and they were bringing back the spirits of the deceased.
Ironically, after his death, his wife announced that a medium had brought her a message from Houdini, a phrase in an unbreakable code known only to the two of them.
Well, I mean, that was just like a bomb, say. Then she issues her statement of belief in the message on January 9th, 1929, and everybody goes crazy.
Was Houdini really reaching out from beyond the grave, Or was this just one more fraud waiting to be exposed?